windy. So there's one thing you shouldn't get much of is dust, the way the window is situated there. Hello Tony, good evening. Hope you're well. We've been busy, very busy. What's been happening in the world of YouTube? Nothing would have changed. I know it's a stupid question. The beggars keep begging, the angry stay angry, and there's always war. You want to say hello?
Oh, hi Tony.
Had a salad bun for dinner, but I made a lasagna. Looking forward to that tomorrow. Looks good. Bechamel sauce on top. Hello Tammy. I like that song. Don't worry. You know the song?
Yeah, what made you sing that?
Tammy Wooden just put in, don't worry, be happy.
Oh, hi
Don't
Tammy.
worry, be happy. That's the way to be. We saw you walk past. Finished off the big colonial window today. Hello, Crystal. Not sure why you're going to bed if the sun's coming up. Sound like you had a big night. I'll sprinkle a whole bucket of like back at ya. Here it comes. It's been a hot week. We've had several days over 40, and today, believe it or not, it was 20 degrees. Yeah, so down from 42 to 20. Yeah, it's coming on good. I don't know if you can see anything. I'll try and point you. We have got all the electrics done. You can see them hangers down. All the power points are all in. That's the colonial window. I don't think you're going to see much because it's in the shadow. That's the colonial window I finished today. And I can't really take you through the rest of the house because there's no lights put in yet. 42 degrees. I imagine that's Fahrenheit, Tammy. Ours was Celsius. We're probably, from lock-up, we're probably about 4 weeks away. Doesn't mean it's finished. There's plenty of other stuff to do. We've got to get the kitchen installed. We're in it, Tammy. It's an addition to our home. So this addition is connected to our old cottage. Yep. No, we've been fortunate. We had a fire, went through, and a house did get burnt not too far from here. All over Australia, it's terrible. I mean, 42 degrees, we're used to that temperature, but that's in summer. This is spring. It's just gone from winter to spring, and we're getting those temperatures now. So we don't have to move in. We just have to have the wall behind me punched out, add the hard floor, Jarrah floor, and then build the kitchen. And Bob's your uncle. I'll show you the wall behind me that's going. That makes sense. See this wall here? That is all coming out. And what was the old kitchen gets extended a bit. And that is how we can still live in the old cottage while the new part of the extension's put on. Yeah, we're okay. We've had catastrophic fire warnings, and the word catastrophic is relatively new in Australia, as in the terminology. Catastrophic means people will die and buildings will burn. It's not an if or a but, that's why the word catastrophic is used. In New South Wales, in 3 days, they lost about 400 homes. Sadly, a couple of people died. And many other states. That's just one state. Our state, we've lost homes. Just down the road, we lost one. But all over this country, it's a tinderbox. It is not good. So, and even the major city of Sydney was given catastrophic warnings, and a lot of people lost their homes. Actually, yeah, we will be cooking some cornbread because the wife picked up, there's a box inside of cornbread. So, I've had cornbread before. In Australia, we tend to do something similar, but we call it damper. It's not got any corn in it at all, but it's just flour, water, salt, and it's cooked, and it's sort of crunchy bread, sort of something that we would have as an addition to a meal as you do with cornbread. But yeah, so the whole wall behind me, and over that way a bit and over there, all comes out. And then all the hard floor gets put in. And the kitchen, a new stove, a new oven, new cupboards. And then if any of you guys want to come round in the new year, we have a little bit of painting to do. Well, when I say a little bit, a lot of painting. 36F, that's too cold. Every year we have big fires in Australia. I mean, to give you an idea, and I'll put it in miles so you can work out, there are hundreds of fires still going. One of them has a fire front of 600 miles long. That's one fire. We're a really big country, so we have really big fires. And there's, like I say, you can argue blue in the face and people say, oh, there's no such thing as climate change. There is. I've lived long enough in my lifetime to tell you it's changed. No worries, Crystal, don't worry. I'm big and ugly enough to make sure me and the missus are safe. But it's changed. The climate's changed. Doesn't matter whether it's man-made or not. I just wish people would acknowledge that it's changed. You know, what used to be our spring was mild weather until about late December, and then the warm, hot weather would come in the new year. Well, in October, where I live, actually, let's go back a bit. In September this year, we set a new record, over 120 years of records, hottest day. September, the same. October, the same. And now in November, the same. So each month is setting the hottest record. Without doubt, this will be our hottest. Last year was our hottest year on record. This year, it will be even hotter. Yeah, sadly, Mr. Andrew's telling you, I did read an article, I forgot to tell you, over 500 koalas died in one reserve. Nothing they could have done to save them. Sadly, koalas run up trees, and when a fire goes through, sometimes they don't get burnt. Not this time. Loads of cooked koala, very sad. But thousands of kangaroos, and sadly some people. Yeah, I forgot to tell you, I read that article about the koala reserve north of Sydney.
Yeah,
Hundreds of koalas gone.
that's the koala park.
Yeah. Very sad. And something not many people talk to other people around the world about in Australia, but droughts are devastating. Farmers had no option to try and minimise their stock. And when you get to the point there is no feed even for the smallest herds, be it sheep, cattle, goats, camels, they've got to walk off their property. No money. No one's going to buy their property. Bankrupt. Obviously very distraught. A lot of these farmers are like 6, 7 generations. Very sad story of one dairy farmer who got rid of most of his stock, kept a small core for breeding, but in the end he just couldn't keep going. Even though people donated stock feed and things like that, and we do that. If one state in Australia suffers terrible drought and another state's doing okay, we'll send feed over to them for free, and they'll do the same. Crystal says, Mr. Gange, oh, no thanks needed. I saw an article of one lady running into fire and saved one that was on fire. Yeah. A lot of people do a lot of good work in this country. Most, and I mean most, of the firefighters are volunteers. We have professional firefighters, but they generally will coordinate, or they'll be just looking after the cities. Hello, Denny G. I liked your little video. Yeah, so our country's on fire. In fact, and a lot of people think our fire season's just started. It hasn't ended for years. This country burns all year round. Some person said, well, within 3 or 4 years there will be no bushfires because there'll be no bush. Yep, we have heaps of animal rescue people all over the country, all over the place. They're all volunteers. There is no institution by the government. They're all volunteers. Most of the volunteers are experts, be it with koalas or kangaroos, but it's hard to understand the depth of a country as big as ours, that it's all burning. There was a satellite image I saw of the east coast last week, and it showed all the fires burning. Well, the fires burned and the smoke went all the way across New Zealand, Samoa. We're talking thousands of kilometres. Yeah, a lot of animals suffer. A lot of people rescue animals too. A lot of people on a farm will try and even open up a separate paddock that's all bare for kangaroos and camels. There's that show we watched the other night. They did that, didn't they?
Yeah.
And these are just wildlife. So they'll feed the wildlife for as long as they can, and then they'll let them go after the fires have stopped. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these firefighters, you think about fires in general, there's some on the north coast, New South Wales and Queensland and South Australia and here. Firefighters are volunteers. A lot of the employers of these people are very good. They'll keep paying them their wage, even though they're not working at the place they're supposed to. And some of these people have been doing this for months and months. So you've got to admire the companies that keep paying these people, because these people aren't at work; they're in the bush trying to stop fires. And that's a good thing that happens, because you can only firefight so long if there's no money coming in. You've got to feed your family and pay your bills. Not all employers, but most do that. We've actually got an army reserve in this country. There's quite a lot of them, something like 500,000. And last week, several thousand were ordered to go and help, and that may be protecting infrastructure like bridges and roads and different things. So basically firefighting. So that's the Army Reserve. The Army's already out there. The real Army in Australia is already out there trying to help. But yeah, 99% of firefighters in this country are just people who work in a bank, work down a local shop, maybe a checkout chick, men and women, They go out, even old people like me will go out and feed them, make a big stew up and heaps of bread or sandwiches. They have little stations in a safer area, so where the guys come back and collapse after being 16-hour shifts. They'll feed them, and people organise portable showers and toilets, and so the whole community comes together. It's something we just do because it happens all the time. It's not an anomaly. It happens every year in every state. And Ellenbrook, just east of us, was on a catastrophic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The wind changed at the last minute and probably saved about 300 or 400 homes near where we live. Just the fickle nature of the wind changing backburnt the fire into itself. So nothing you can do with some of the fire fronts, that 100 feet high and moving at 100 kilometres an hour. You don't even have to be at the fire front. Embers will fly across and start fires in roofs. But anyway, we just got to get on with it. And there's plenty of bushfire appeals each year that people donate to. Because some people just don't have insurance and they lose everything. They got nothing. So how have all you been? What's been happening in your world? We've just been flat out doing stuff with the extension. Even the wife's exhausted from working, aren't you?
Yes.
Individuals like us, America, are there organisations we can donate to? I would suggest any of the victims of the California fires, Danny. Charity begins at home. Hello, Buttercup. Ooh, I've got just enough time to listen to one of Buttercup's quiz questions, because I'm not going to be on long tonight. But yeah, if you're going to donate, Danny, make sure it's in your own country. There's people in big need, I'm sure. We always like the Red Cross, Salvation Army. They will do a good job.
Yeah. Or just the Australian, I'm not sure what it's called, some sort of firefighter association or something of Australia or something like that.
Yeah, people who don't have insurance. Look, there are plenty of stories I could tell you about what I know, because I helped build a new home for a couple in their probably late 50s. They're actually away for the weekend fishing up north. When they come back, their house was destroyed in a bushfire. So the community got together. They were put up straight away. No one will sleep in the bush, in the ground, if their house burns. They'll have some place to go. There are volunteers everywhere that say, yep, we've got a couple of bedrooms, bring the wife and the kids over, no problem. But we got together, it took us about 13 weeks, but we rebuilt a home for these people with donated time and material. No one paid a cent, just gave you time. And they were just, I don't know, I mean, they were crying, but they're the sort of people who would also, if someone else went down like that, they'd pucker up and help and chip in and do the labour. They even had a pool that had melted, and that was replaced by a pool company. So it never exactly the same, of course, because what you can't get from a fire is that your memories are burnt. You know what I mean? Photographs, knickknacks and paddywhacks that you just cannot replace. All right, Crystal, you have a good one?
See you, Crystal.
It'll be a while, but we're getting there.
Come on, Buttercup, where's your question?
She's thinking of a doozy, I'm sure. Yep, I've always said when times get tough, people become kind. In other words, they understand the pain and suffering. The real people that need help get help. You probably know the answer to my question of the day. What animals sleep holding hands?
Otters.
Yep, I knew that. They actually sleep on their back in the water, holding hands.
And why? It's so they don't float apart
Yep, otters generally mate for life.
and keep them afloat. Is that correct?
Yep, and why? So they don't lose each other, because they do go to sleep. I like it how otters put rocks on their belly, you know, crack muscles and things like that. They're funny. We've got sea otters in Australia, a bit different than the ones in the bush. We've got an easy question off Buttercup tonight.
Yes.
That was good.
I know a lot of people don't know that.
They're funny creatures, otters. The Hound of the Baskerville. I'm sure you'll find a hard one. Everything other than tonight's question has been
It has been
bloody
good
hard.
ones. You've done well, Buttercup. Yeah, we've been busy too.
There's loads of good people on YouTube, loads of them. There's a handful of not so nice people. I just don't bother going to those channels, and it's been pleasant, I can tell you. Man, there's a million answers to that one, Tammy. Why did the chicken cross the road? I'll wait for you to tell me. Yeah, doing good. Tired. Both been working hard. Lots of sanding. More sanding, varnishing, sanding, digging, moving stuff.
There's lots of answers to why did the chicken cross the
There's a
road.
million answers I could give. That's the oldest one of all. To get to the other side. I'll let this go another few minutes and then, even though it's pretty early, what is the time?
7:45.
Looking out the window, that's not there yet. Yeah, there's a load of good people on YouTube. Just got to avoid the potholes of other people's who are not so nice. Ziggy keeps going out. Do you have plans for Christmas? Yeah, we'll be gathering with the mob.
Just not sure when or how or where. We're just leaving it
We'll
whatever.
do something here. The roof's on. We've got a roof on, and all the plastering will be done on the ceiling before Christmas, so we can have something in here. Even if we just, do a simple finger food type thing. But we'll probably the daughter's Sherman one Christmas. Or, not sure.
Well, we'll go there Christmas Day. In the morning, watch William.
But definitely next Christmas, it will be here. But see, I mean, even my state's so big. My daughter lives 5.5 hours away. My son lives 3. Another son is probably half an hour away, and the other 2 are probably about the same. So it's hard, when you've got kids that have got other commitments to other parents. You can't always have them at your home. You just have to accept that. Not that you like it, but you just got to accept that's how life goes along. So some years you get to see some you get to see after Christmas. But it would be nice if you could get all the family together all the time. But being such a big family, it's not that easy. I have to do something for Daniel's birthday. 40. The oldest son will be 40 years old in January.
You can send yourself Buttercup.
What's that?
She'd like to send a wee housewarming gift.
Yeah, how about you just come over here with a paintbrush? I'll feed you, Buttercup.
Send us a paintbrush,
We got
Buttercup.
room for you to sleep, no problem.
I'll let heaps of...
You only got to work about 10 hours a day, with a few breaks in between. A paintbrush with your hand on it would be excellent. Actually, it's going to be interesting when I say to the kids, yep, we're just about to paint now. It'll be like, oh, we're going away. It'll be like all the excuses in the world.
Actually, that reminds me. Was it today, Em said?
What's that?
I think it's early May. They're going to... What's the island that's sinking?
You mean in the Pacific?
Yeah, what's it called? Starts
Oh,
with
there's
M?
several. Starts with...
M?
No, it's not the Maldives.
Yeah.
It's not. That's on the other side. The east coast has got several islands going underwater.
Anyway,
Someone says, I'm getting ready for Thanksgiving. Can't wait for turkey and dressing. I actually like leg meat off turkey because it tastes a bit like beef. A lot of people cook turkey, it's very dry.
Yeah, paint party.
Me and you both cook then, Buttercup. We'll just get a big mob in painting and we'll keep feeding them. I'm not looking forward to the ceilings.
You just sort of get in the zone when you paint.
Yeah, and paints have changed over the years. Gone are the years we used to do like 2 undercoats and a final coat. Some products are that good, you just need 1 coat. There's several products, and they're not cheap, but they basically, 1 coat does it. Which I'm happy, because this is a big area. Hello, V-Mac. Bet it's cold there. Very cold. Yeah, you got to open everything up when you paint. Every window and door. And I always open. There we go. That is a fan. So when I was painting this big colonial window, that was on all day. With a mask and everything else, but you've just got to... I can see the writing now. I've done that. But yeah, no, always open a window, have a fan the opposite side of the room, push the air out. But even the paints have got safer over the years, which is good. I'm old enough to remember painting with lead paint. That didn't really stop till the 70s, but they outlawed it, didn't they?
Yeah. Alright, too cold, V-mate.
Yeah, that's cold. It's bracing. Would have been a quick step, I imagine. Get home quicker. We get 3 degrees every now and then during winter. It's rare, but we do get it. Here, that is. I don't think we had one this year, though, did we?
Oh, we had a 5 couple of times.
A couple of 5 degrees. I don't mind the cold. Oh, we're sitting outside and it's probably about 16 degrees because it was only 20 today. Incredible drop from 42 down to 20. But 16, it's not cold. I've got my dressing gown on. You haven't even got yours on, have you?
No, but I've got my winter jammies on.
Do you want to go and show them the lasagna I made?
Oh, if you want.
I made a lasagna tonight, Mac. The wife's going to go and show you.
I know we dropped your phone then. Take you into the dark. Into the... Look, the old back door. We'll be going soon. Oh, lucky I did the dishes. There you go. Can you see it? Does that look good? All this will be ripped out soon. Oh, I've got the window covered. There he is out there. Yeah, it's windy here too, actually. Yes, like lasagna. Going in a minute.
So that lasagna will be eaten tomorrow. Well, actually, not all of that. There's enough
No.
for 4 big meals in there. It's got a bechamel topping. Yum. I love bechamel. A few bits of bechamel in layers as well. I think you can have just lasagna by itself. You can have a salad. We've got a garden, so we can have a salad. We've had
Garlic
tomatoes, lettuce, chilies are coming on, cap's going to grow. Still not, like say, very good soil, but we're getting stuff out of it. Actually, yesterday we tied up the tomatoes. I've been slack, but they're all tied up now. And we've got a fairly easy day tomorrow for a change.
Well, not really.
I just got to organise that stump out there with the grinder coming around. And the plasterers will be here Monday.
Is it?
Totally. Oh, that's what I'm led to believe. I'm going to make maple glazed butternut squash. That sounds yum and sweet.
It does sound nice.
Do you ever have parsnips, VMAC? They're a good accompaniment. And if you roast those as well, they get real sweet. Cut the core out, of course.
We've actually got about 10 flowers on our pumpkin bush.
Yeah, it's a butternut too. We're growing butternut.
We'll send you some, VMAC.
You like roasted pumpkin, whether you use it to eat roasted pumpkin or then turn it into soup. Yeah, they get real sweet. I love, they're very expensive here. To give you an idea, in kilos, they're about $13 a kilo, VMAC. I have no idea why. They're not that hard to grow.
No, but it's...
Yeah, parsnips is sort of a Christmas sort of fare with Brussels sprouts.
That's more an English thing. That's not an Australian thing.
Yeah, I suppose, but it's also a very American thing.
Yeah, it's not really Australian to have Brussels sprouts and parsnip at Christmas.
I like my Brussels sprouts where you cut the stem off and you boil them, and then you peel off all the green bits. In other words, you've already peeled it before you cooked it, but you got all this nice tender leaf. Leave that aside, and then keep boiling the core. Then get the pan, butter, salt, pepper, all the leaves that you've taken off, and all the nice tender cores now. Yum. That's
Right.
about the only way to have Brussels sprouts.
Fry it with bacon and onion and garlic.
Yeah, yep, bacon, onion, garlic, butter. That is yum. All right, I think we might close down our very short hangout because we're very tired. And we will catch all you good people another time. And I do consider you good people, even though Danny G's is one fine ass already.
She's probably getting ready for work.
Yes, I imagine she is. You watched Elbow cooking. That'd have been interesting. Let me see. Did he wash his hands? Probably not. Yeah. If you want to go to the new restaurant called Botulism, it'll be run by him. He's so unclean. Have a great day, wherever you are. I hope, unlike VMAC, you're not walking in 3 degrees temperature.
Keep warm.
Keep warm.
Everybody, BMAC.
Be good to each other. He picked his nose, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably an aperitif for him. Anyway, good people, until next time, I shall point at the boss.
The one with the bags under her eyes.
And I shall see you good people another day. Have a good one wherever you are.